Robert, what's your take on the most exciting origins, or perhaps you can come in on the US ending de minimis exemptions with your view on how this is impacting global freight. Take your pick.
Well, I think, I mean, first of all, on your earlier question, also on the Transpac market, what happened there? I mean, actually, some people have been complaining, some operators have been complaining about the fact that, US operators got all these great traffic rights, right? So in general, the US operators have a big advantage, where they can fly. But this year we saw the definite upside of that, because if all this capacity between, of Atlas Air, of Kalinta, National, would have been restrained to the Transpac market only, I think we would have seen a bit of a bloodbath over the summer on the yields. But because they could redeploy the capacity to Asia, Europe markets, because they have this ability to do that, actually the net effect was rather limited on yields. And I think it's a big tribute to the air cargo sector, on the flexibility, on all the people in those companies, and how they can manage that. I mean, it's simply amazing, because this was such a big external shock. If low value e-commerce drops by 40%, almost from one day to the next, and the industry is able to deal with that this way, I think it's really, really impressive. On the other question, I think Vietnam is the big thing right now. So Vietnam and Southeast Asia. In the early 90s, it was all about Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand, where all the high tech and all the stuff was coming from. It all got relocated to China. I think we're currently seeing a reversal. So I put my bets on the Southeast Asian market for next year, for this year already, but particularly for next year. And I think they will really benefit, particularly Vietnam, because as Tom pointed out, its proximity to China. One thing that we didn't talk about yet is a new factor, right? And we talk about sea and air. How about rail? So rail has been a big growing part of the capacity between Asia and Europe. Why I mention this is that since 2 weeks, there's been geopolitical issues on the border between Poland and Belarus. And
Very good point. Yeah.
this is the next thing. So this route is being closed, and this will be another bullish factor for the peak season between Asia and Europe. But of course, once capacity is sucked into that market, it will have a repercussion on the other markets.
This is the closure of the Belarus and Poland border, yeah,
Correct.
because of problems with NATO and Russia.
Correct.
How does your analysis of that, Robert, how's that feeding back into the decisions you're making for MAS?
Well, what we are doing is we're really opening our sales network in Southeast Asia. I mean, traditionally, we had our interline partners mostly in North Asia. Currently, we're pushing hard to open up our sales channels in Southeast Asia, so that we can, even though we're not flying there ourselves, we can benefit by people interlining through LA or Mexico. So this is the part we can directly influence.